Hello there, and welcome to the new week. Sorry for being absent last week, but I was on holiday and it was lovely, thanks. So what has happened, the only thing that's happened is that we've gone down a little bit here. But that's really what has happened, is what's happened over the last few years. Okay, so just to recap for those not familiar, we believe we're in 3 to 4 move, with a blue 3 to 4 move on an Elliott wave basis. We are bullish in this area simply because it hasn't broken the Elliott wave as far as we're concerned. On a monthly, we're still good. This is a good place to buy. I'm DCA'd in. So there we are. You're all brought up to date. And of course, last week, if we come in, this is a daily, and if we come right into what's been going on, we see that it had a little breakout here with high volume drop. Okay, so we're almost, we're still nowhere near these levels, but we're here, we're still in, there's a relatively high volume drop, and it didn't really drop that much. So for me, this little drop here causing that high volume says that that's a lot of effort for not much move. I mean, what is that candle? 23,264 down to 28. So 20,800, that is. It's not great. It's not a massive amount, big old volume. So that says to me that, I'm still reasonably confident this is accumulation. It makes sense for it to be accumulation. Now it's dropped out of the channel we were kind of looking at. But again, that does not necessarily mean you suddenly say, whoa, and you throw everything away and, you just pour your chips down the drain. Because for me, this is still accumulation, and you can still see the level here, which has been, let's turn this thing off. So if we go in here, we've got this kind of level here, which has been sensitive several times, and it's still sensitive. Because I don't really like it being a box, you can also draw a line. You can more or less draw a line, so that has been a useful line. And so, nothing's really changed. And I don't care if it comes down and tests perhaps this one. Not particularly anyway. If it heads down sub 20 again, it still looks like accumulation. Some of the people within our Discord channel, and I do recommend that if you haven't already had a look at it, you have a look at it. I recommend you all go and have a look at it if you haven't already. And people within, who've subscribed and done the education will understand why I regard volume as so important. I like this. I like this concentrated pickup in volume here, all upward, and then a shitty volume drop, another concentrated volume, shitty volume drop, and then this drop here is high volume. So that again tells me that it still looks bullish. I'm not bearish about this. It seems okay. Anyway, that's kind of it on Bitcoin. So I know lots of people would have been saying over the time, whilst I was away, there would have, there'd been some panic, when it dropped down here. But all you've got to do is zoom out. I mean, really, I've got this on a daily, but zoom out. Is that significant? You're talking about this bit here. So the actual panic was this. It's 10% drop, but I mean, God, look at these things. You can barely see it. Reminded when I looked at, because I joined the market in just like a month before the 1987 crash, because I am that old. There are literally mountains younger than me. When I look for that 1987 crash on a long-term S&P, can't even see it. It's insane. I don't think this one goes back far enough. Let's have a look. How far does this go back if I go to a monthly? Yeah, it's only go back to 2011. Let's go SP 500 indexes. No, I don't think we're going to be able to find anything that goes back far enough. No, that doesn't. SPOE. Look in futures. No. Anyway, you get the idea that this is a tiny blip, and doesn't really change the overall look of things. So this is your Bitcoin, and on a monthly you can barely see it. And so really, whenever you feel like you're panicking and you're thinking, oh my God, what I thought was right isn't, just for goodness sake, just zoom out. So even on a daily, you can see that it's really not that much. You know, we've had much bigger drops in the past. This is not a shakeout. It's more just a retest. So that's where I sit. Now let's look at some questions. Alex Leolios says, sounds good. DC'd in, quite happy with this level as the value level. Well, I agree. You know, I've already DC'd in. I wouldn't put you off. I haven't yet seen anything particularly bearish here. You know, and moving down isn't bearish. Moving down when it kind of needs to take a pause for breath, that's okay. You know, is there any cause of panic? No. God, I did have some laughs earlier. I was looking at, let's try and bring it up over here. I was looking at that. It's just quite funny. I actually put out a post on YouTube, so those of you looking at my YouTube would have seen this. Where is he? This idiot. Let's bring him in here. So if you look at his videos, he goes, biggest buy signal for ages, buy Bitcoin right now, a major buy signal for Bitcoin. I just sold Ethereum, $1 million trade in Bitcoin, massive Bitcoin disaster. He sold 2000. The Ethereum merge will take the price to, what does he say, to 10,000 by February. Why have you sold 2,000 Ethereum? You nutter. This is the beginning for Bitcoin. I just lost 1 million. This is the end for Bitcoin. New Bitcoin long position. All you've got to do is read these things and you realize this guy is retarded. I'm sorry if that sounds ableist, but this guy, you know, I don't know the guy. All I know is do not follow him. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, let's get rid of that. That's just literal nonsense and go, oh dear, you ended up seeing my latest YouTube. Now, so going back to here, Handsome Man says, morning mate. Kim Nugay, is it going to 14? Is it not going to 14k before going up? No, I don't think it is. That's my opinion. Handsome Man says, oh crikey, he's asking for loads of things. And he called me bra. I'm nearly 60 years old. You can't call me bra. You can call me dad. Or if Pastor wants to look at AU, I will look at that. And Yossarian, random question. Do you know if they're going to be success in flying Elliott Wave for a long time frame to property? Okay, so I'll talk about that in general before going back to having a look at some of Handsome Man's stuff. But think about Elliott Wave. It's to do with Fibonacci. Okay, because Elliott Wave and Fibonacci are in the same kind of thing. They're kind of together in the way the theories work because they are the theory of natural things. So Fibonacci detected things like the spiral shells of snails and crustaceans were governed by this ratio. And to have things be natural, you need a lot of participants. So you have to ask yourself, is the property market lots of participants? It's quite a lot of participants. It also helps to have institutional involvement, and they're not really institutions might get involved in commercial property, but not really residential property. And so while I'd say there's some influence there, I wouldn't say it was the best thing. Foreign exchange is the best thing for Elliott Wave because there are millions of participants, millions, and institutions are involved. And so as a result, you are going to get some Elliott Wave-like behavior. Stocks also. So enough participants. Bitcoin only recently, Ethereum only recently, and Ethereum's broken its one. So Bitcoin is the daddy and is the one with the most institutional involvement. And as a result, you know, I'm happy enough using Elliott Wave theory with it. Property, you know, think about where all this comes from. It's a psychology thing. So, you know, when you're looking at Elliott Wave, is it a price predictor? No, it's a behavior predictor, which obviously, you know, indirectly affects price. But think about it as a psychological indicator. Dow theory, Elliott Wave theory, Fibonacci, they're psychological things. And Fibonacci comes in when you have very large natural systems, like, you know, and I contend that the foreign exchange markets and some other instruments are very large natural systems because they're driven up and down by group psychology. Going back to some of the other ones, Handsome Man says, lol, I'm 59 too. That was funny. I'm trying to talk like to keep up with the cryptos. Yeah, I'm not really bra. So going back to dollars EWT. Oh God, what's this going to be? I'm sorry if I don't know this mnemonic, but I'm assuming it's a crypto. Let's go to monthly and see if I can make any sense out of it. And the answer is no. You know, I can't really help there. I can do my usual, which is look at price action and say, you know, if somebody made me trade, what would I do? Well, use the tools I've given you. I haven't given you, but I've shown you them. I'll take it from the top to the bottom. See where you're getting at. See, the most value is there. There's another one here where it stopped. Next one's not till up here, and it's stopped there too. You know, this is, you know, crypto's going to move with Bitcoin. So, you know, Bitcoin healthy, this healthy in general. There's a big gap here. I like this big gap, which means once it breaks these levels, once it kind of breaks this sort of lump here, which is the equivalent of this, there's quite a big gap to the upsides, you know, so we're not far from that. What am I going to say? I'd like to see it back down here so I can buy some, I suppose. If I had to trade, I'd wanted to buy it around 4, whatever the hell this is. Luxo. Right, a bit of dead air there, so I'll try and work out what to do here. Take that from the top. Where is your volume? One there where it's at, another one up there, big gap in between. So again, it needs to kind of break 7.3 or something to get exciting on the upside. What's it trading at the moment? 5.2 or something like that. I don't know, it's a crypto. I'm bullish of Bitcoin. I'll probably be long rather than short. Dollar XY, I'm assuming that's the same thing. Dollar, is that the same thing? LYXE. No, it's not. God knows. It's an ETF. Oh no, it's that. It's the same thing. Okay, fair enough. And the next one was AU. So I'm looking at AU myself. Let's remove this. Don't need that for this. So I'm hoping that this was a 1. Now I need to delete some, or not delete, but hide some of this markage. Let's hide that, hide that, hide that, hide that, hide that, hide that. So I'm hoping this was 0 to 1. I'm not sure it was. I can't really see 5 waves here. I can only see 3. And so this could be a 4 with a precursor up to 5th wave up here, where I've marked it. Or it could be coming down for a 2 now. It's really not that easy to tell. The first wave in any, the first wave is probably the least reliable in each one though. That's the thing. And really we're just watching and waiting to see if it shows us what it wants to do. If you take one of the ways of kind of working this out is if, say, you know, go to the top here, has it gone 50 retracement? It has. Has it gone down into the where the natural 2 will be yet? No. So has it gone past the 1? That's the other thing. So if you're saying to yourself that if that a 1, then we're down below, so this makes this corrective. So really, where is the 1? You know, you haven't seen the 1 of this 0 to 1. So I would say things are not clear in AU yet. If we get a decent pullback, and pullback like this is a bit unusual, you're much more likely to get something from here which goes like this. You know, and that would make you 2. Much more likely to get that sort of thing. Let's get the old settings out. We don't need that to be super millennium. That can just be primary. So, you know, that's the kind of thing you're probably looking at. So there's AU done. VO, hi Paul, when using moving averages, you're using EMA or SMA? I use EMA, but I don't really use moving averages. VO, I've got a feeling you're in the server, so you know that we don't pour scorn on moving averages, but I would say that they're useful in a few situations only. So for example, the 15-minute one, if you put some moving averages in here, it will start to look like it's following them. And a lot of people do follow them. And so as a result, you know, if you're looking for a market, say this one, to come down, let's turn on an EMA. Have I got any up there? I've got the 9 gap there. I don't want that. So let's go to indicators, moving average exponential. And set it up to say the 50, which is quite normal. EMA. So it's not really doing that. People say, you know, it's more likely to be something that, let's just make this a bit bigger because it's not very style. EMA. So my problem with it is that people say that it's useful because they'll say, look, it's bounced off it's here and it's bounced off it there and it's bounced off it there. Look at that. But here it didn't. Here it did. Here you would have got caught. I mean, and the only thing I would say is it usually takes a bit of work. So here, for example, this is what I mean by a bit of work. So you're under the 50, and if you're bullish, it took a while for it to break through it because it's a natural sort of on a 15-minute 50 EMA. And if you put in a 200, it would probably look similar. You know, they're kind of, don't forget they're lagging indicators and they don't really pay attention to what's going on in the market right now. They're just saying, you know, is it going better than it has been in the past, or is it going worse than it has been in the past? And, you know, I would certainly say that, you know, if you're looking to sell it here, then there'll probably be some action around the EMA where, you know, it'll probably hold up for a bit, you know, and it's sometimes better to wait until you've actually seen it break below. So here it broke below. And if you were short, you'd say to yourself, oh, right, it's broken below, but you wouldn't really have got much in. You'd have had to wait for a second break before you got any kind of downside. And to be fair, at that point, you know, we haven't seen those prices since. So, you know, is it useful? Not really, only in a psychological way because other people look at it. That's all I will say. Handsome Man says, thanks, mate, much appreciated. Hey, no problem. Let me just quickly check if there's anybody chatting away. And here we go. Leveler85 says hello, and FB82 says Euro USD. The perennial, very difficult to trade thing. You guys, what do you like? Why do you want to trade this awful thing? The trouble is with Euro USD is that it's the most highly traded and most highly manipulated thing in the world of trading. In fact, let's go all the way back to daily. So the reason why I don't see this as a 0-1 is because I'm not seeing any kind of sensible 5 wave in here. So this could be a pullback of a larger 0-1. But, you know, it's under $1. Ouch. It's under 1, sorry. And as a result, you know, what can I read from that? You know, the dollar is still super strong. Let's look at DXY, which is basically the same thing in inverse. You know, we called it to bounce up to this yellow line, if you remember. What's this? Oh, this is a daily chart. And it's gone higher than that. You know, we did say we was due another rally. And that kind of links with the fact that when we switched to Aussie USD, we were expecting another drop in that to come down for its 2. And so they're all kind of linked together. And this should be no surprise to anyone that DXY has had another little puff here. What do I really think about Euro USD? I mean, I wouldn't be short it. That's all I'll say. You know, I don't think it's going down. Sorry, that's not true. It may well go down. But, you know, from these levels, you're more likely to get upside than downside. You know, so I'd be looking for opportunities to get long rather than looking for opportunities to get short. And the other way of looking at it is say to yourself, is there a level where it seems to have broken out of something? How long ago is that? Okay, so this red level I've got here, which I'm just going to pop up. I don't think I can make it any, I can't make it any more visible. So this sort of area here, which it did react to, is now beneath it. And so really, you know, you need it to be above sort of 108 before you get particularly bullish. Because it's a big fat level from way back, you know, this. You know, and before I start getting really bullish, I want to see some concentrated buying. Okay, so that's EU. Eldar says, hi Dad. Very amusing, Eldar. Thank you very much indeed. He's a member of our Discord. Paying member too. Good man. Mind Mint, you're back. Hello Paul, I hope you're well rested. Not really, it was a very wet week, if you understand what I mean, and I don't mean the weather. Could you take a look at Nvidia and Netflix? Gun to my head, which one do I buy? Oh, let's have a look. So you're interested in buying, which is probably a good idea. Where's me one? The one's not till there. This is a daily chart. Well, I mean, if what you got to do is say to yourself, you know, if this is the 4-5 and it's not going any lower, then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now you'd expect it to come back down to the sort of 150 level to complete the 1, 2 of the 4-5. To say what I mean, as in this part. I mean, they're just, I'm not putting them in with any kind of, and if you are looking at it, you should also look at the fibs. So let's have a look at the fibs. Stopped to 1.618, pulled back, didn't make 2.618. So you may find there's more oomph in this. But you would expect, you know, if it's behaving, to have some kind of pullback at some stage. So that's that one. What was the other one? There was Netflix, wasn't it? I would say Nvidia, I'd have to move on to fundamentals here. I don't think that looks very nice, that Netflix chart. And it's a competitive area. I'm not saying video hardware isn't either. So for my choice, Nvidia, but I'd wait. Ton 11. I do have a question for what I see right now. We're still on bias territory for all over trend, but whatever happened when BTC will enter a seller's territory, who will push it back? Unlike Forex, that's a pair currency. This is still a pair because it's BTC versus USD. It's a bit of an odd question, Ton 11, and perhaps I don't understand it properly. We're still on bias territory. Yes, we are. What happens when it goes into seller's territory? Well, you know, I'm in for the long haul. I'm getting long Bitcoin here. You know, I might sell some on the B, I probably will, and then expect a C. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about, you know, when we get this, I might as well sell some of it because I know it'll come easier again before it goes much better. And I'll decide that when I get. Okay. Right, I don't know if I'm still alive. It looks very much like the TradingView streams died. Let me just check that. Absolutely no idea if it's still live. I think it might be. Okay, it died there for a second, lost connection. TradingView does do that. I'm just having a look at the Bitcoin one, which seems to have frozen. Is that still going? Oh, it is all still going. Okay, good. Yeah, just a short hiccup. Yeah, okay, we're live on YouTube, and I think we're still live on TradingView. And who was Juan Yeshua? He wants cable. GBP USD. That's looking just like the Euro USD chart, except that we have got some previous form down here, which was during lockdown. What have we really got? I can't really make much sense of that. I mean, this Elliott wave is definitely not there anymore because this 4 here is below this 1. You know, so wherever we are on here, this is not being driven by elliott wave, so it's a full delete on that. You've got some levels higher, and once more, I'd expect, I don't really expect much from this, as you know, on the upside, until we break up above 126, which is 6 cents away. It's not miles, but you know, there's still a fair amount of progress. You know, it's all very easy to try and pick bottoms in these things. It may be today, it may not. This one here, don't forget, could go even higher. This is DXY, so overall strength of the dollar is super important here. You know, it's not started coming off. It's broken clean through this level. It could make a new high. So, you know, all about patience, all about waiting, all about getting more and more information. And when you see some information you can act on it then, and don't guess. It's simple. Prince Jawad, hi Paul, thanks for the stream. Hope you had a great weekend. I had a great week, actually. That's how long I was there. Okay, so I think that's probably enough. And I will see you all tomorrow, barring accidents. What have I got tomorrow? Yeah, I'm good tomorrow. I might struggle on Wednesday. Got something else I've got to do. But I'll try. Okay then, guys and girls. Goodbye.